This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Welcome into the news at 6. I'm Amanda Starantino at the RTV6 studios.
And I'm Mark Mullins, broadcasting from my home. First tonight, an update on COVID-19 in Indiana. The Indiana State Department of Health reports 31 new coronavirus deaths. So far, 661 Hoosiers have died since the COVID-19 pandemic began. The health department says there are 394 new coronavirus cases, bringing the total number of cases statewide to 12,438. 69,470 people have been tested for COVID-19. And while the number of new coronavirus cases is lower than what we've recently seen, the state says that's at least in part due to a technology issue. They say these lower numbers should not be interpreted as a decline in new infections. And just into the RTV6 newsroom, more Hoosiers could soon rebound from the job losses caused by COVID-19. Rafael Sanchez has confirmed that the state of Indiana plans to start allowing self-employed and independent contractors like Uber and Lyft drivers to apply for $600 in weekly unemployment benefits. The state says the process to apply should begin on Friday. Payments to these Hoosiers are expected to start after May 9th. Also, Rafael Sanchez has confirmed that this week 202,000 Hoosiers are receiving unemployment, and Hoosiers have received $276 million in unemployment benefits over a 3-day period. For perspective, in all of 2019, the state paid about $230 million in unemployment benefits.
Still, COVID-19 has damaged Indiana's economy, but it's our mission to help everyone in Indiana rebound quickly. Tens of thousands of Hoosiers are still trying to get unemployment benefits, but the process has not been easy. Working for you, RTV6's Troy Washington gets answers to your questions and tries to find out what's behind the holdup.
I said I've called, and just can't get through. So I don't even know what to do anymore.
Like tens of thousands of Hoosiers, Robin Reuter was knocked off of her feet by COVID-19 and is waiting on unemployment benefits just to make ends meet.
Me and my son just moved up here in February. March 20th is when we got the call. We're going to shut the center down. We're non-essential.
Reuter is a single mother to a 6-month-old. She worked in child care services before restrictions went into place.
I first moved up here, there was an issue because I was supposed to file in Ohio because I just moved from Ohio. So I did that.
Only problem is she wasn't laid off in Ohio. She lost her job here in Indianapolis. But because of all the confusion, she's having trouble getting her unemployment benefits going.
Since then, I've called multiple times. I've sent letters. Nobody's responding. I'm getting absolutely zero help.
The Indiana Department of Workforce Development has admitted they are getting a ton of calls right now and doing their best to help.
It's been a whole month and there's nothing happening. So it's not just me. I know it's not just me. But as a single mom, it's really stressful, trying my best to take care of my son.
She reached out to RTV6 in hopes of finally finding some relief and some answers to her questions. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And tonight, a mother is waiting for her federal stimulus money to kick in. Meanwhile, she's also having trouble securing regular unemployment benefits. Call 6 Investigates Rafael Sanchez shows us the daunting process that she's going through and how she's trying to keep moving forward.
This is the mask that I end up just coming up with an idea to buy a sewing machine and make them.
Alicia Hiller talked to us while waiting to pick up a box of food being provided by her bosses at Crystal Catering. Since being laid off, her sewing machine has been keeping her busy. She's made more than 25 face masks for friends and neighbors while also being focused on the home front.
It's very tough, and I'm taking care of 3 children right now, so I'm just making it.
Hiller's full-time job is helping her kids stay on top of their academics at the same time while having fun, from playing games to planting seeds outside. And her other full-time job is applying for unemployment benefits. She says she's been denied twice.
It just says that I don't have adequate work history. So they go back to 2018, and it says I don't have adequate work history.
She's now waiting for the federal relief dollars of $600 a week to kick in for those who usually are not covered by unemployment benefits.
That would be able to help me to keep buying groceries. That would help me to pay the bills and the mortgage because the bills are still due. I'm just really just trying to look at the positives about it. You know, I'm just spending time with doing activities. We're just trying to do positive, loving things in the home.
Working for you, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And again, the Department of Workforce Development is hoping to have the system to start processing claims like Alicia's later this week, with a payment scheduled to go into effect the first week of May. RTV6 is working for you as Indiana starts to prepare for the day that when we can safely rebound from the pandemic. Tonight, we are hosting a virtual forum with the Department of Workforce Development. It starts at 7:30 this evening. You can join the discussion and ask questions about unemployment benefits, getting back to work, and making ends meet. You can do that on the RTV6 Facebook page and at our website, theindychannel.com.
An Indiana diner denied a small business loan, leaving the future of the diner in doubt and leaving its owner without hope. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum shows us the power of asking for help, which motivated a community to help this diner find its footing during these uncertain times.
It's no secret that COVID-19 restrictions are hitting small businesses hard. After losing 90% of their customers and having no clear indication as to when a sense of normalcy will return, finding out they got denied for a small business loan was the final straw for the owners of Merck's Family Dining.
To say the least, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to us in 30 years of being in business.
Tim Merkel says he was relying on that loan, but he thinks the money was already gone by the time his bank processed the application.
We did everything the way we were supposed to do it, but I don't think they knew how overwhelming it was going to be. As far as, you know, all these loans coming in at once, and I think they underestimated the amount of money people were going to need.
So they made this post on Facebook saying they'd likely have to close their doors for good if business didn't pick up. The response was immediate.
The very next day, we were short-staffed, and it was just unbelievable how many people came through.
And it's been that way since. They've already had to call some laid-off employees back to work. He says the support from the community and other local restaurants has been overwhelming.
It was very, very emotional. I mean, it's hard to see it and do it because people are just, they're wonderful here. This has got to be the best town I've ever lived in my life. Our customers are great.
He says that will help them stay open right now as they apply for a small business loan again under the second round of funding. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
Many retired and older people in central Indiana are having trouble getting groceries. Some cannot drive anymore, and others don't want to risk getting COVID-19 by going to the store. RTV6's Nicole Griffin shows us how one local healthcare group is trying to fill a huge need and help these Hoosiers through this pandemic.
Oak Street Health serves the most vulnerable people in our communities, seniors who are on Medicare. In order to keep those seniors safely at home during the pandemic, the healthcare provider has now started picking up groceries and delivering them to their doorsteps.
Here's your groceries. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, I'm 92 years old and I have no transportation, so I'm not able to really get out.
Anna Louisa Springs normally goes to the grocery store once a month to get essential items.
My Social Security is all spent and I live on Social Security.
And right now she's also trying to avoid going out in public due to the coronavirus.
I'm determined I'm not getting this virus. It's not mine.
We have rice for some black beans.
Springs is a patient at Oak Street Health. The primary care center has 7 locations in Indiana. They started delivering groceries at no cost to the patient after doing wellness checks and seeing the need.
Even on good days, even in the best of times through our communities, we know we have these vulnerabilities and issues around food and food security. With
more than 90% of patient visits moving to telehealth during the pandemic, they are using vans that are typically used to transport patients to now deliver food.
Being able to deliver fresh food and fresh produce and teach our patients how to eat better and have access to better foods has been vital.
And I really appreciate it. It's very, very gracious for you to do this for me.
They have already delivered food to more than 300 patients by working with local partners like Indiana Black Farmers and the Shepherd Community Center. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Well, Anna tells us that she's trying to help out others during the pandemic as well. She says she's sewing face masks to give to anyone who needs them. If you need help or are showing symptoms of the virus, Oak Street Health has a 24/7 COVID-19 hotline. Details on that are in the RTV6 app.
And COVID-19 is making it difficult for many Hoosiers to pay their bills, perhaps because of a loss of income or a job loss. And this includes car payments. So Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny finds out what you can do if you fall behind or plan to fall behind on your car payments. This can help you rebound and recover quicker. The Federal Trade Commission says if you're falling behind on car payments, contact your lender now. Some banks, credit unions, and auto financing companies are letting people delay payments or renegotiate their payment schedules. If your lender agrees to any changes, make sure you have it in writing for later. See if you can refinance your loan. This makes sense if a lower interest rate or a longer loan could make your car payment doable. Even if you have to miss a payment, don't be afraid to talk to your lender to learn about your options. Call 6 Investigates also checked with the Indiana Attorney General to find out what your legal rights are in Indiana when it comes to your car payment and when it comes to vehicle repossession. We have that info up in this story on our website, theindychannel.com, and the RTV6 app.
Who's ready for some ice cream or a burger, perhaps? It's a little off the beaten path, but folks in East Central Indiana know all about the Moose. We'll show you how one family is serving up some soda fountain favorites curbside.
And I'm Dave First. The NFL Draft comes up this weekend. Colts fans excited about that, but won't be on hand for it unless you're talking about one couple who will be there virtually. We'll talk to them coming up in our Sports Extra Spotlight.
Our focus today, obviously, on the thermometer with the mild temperatures. Tomorrow, it will be on the radar. We'll talk about the return of rain coming up.
RTV6 hiring Hoosiers partner.
Well, as the weather gets warmer, many of us start thinking about treating ourselves to some ice cream. And I could go for a hot fudge sundae right now.
It sounds good, doesn't it? Well, to find one of the area's best spots, you'll have to make a bit of a drive. And as Brad Brown shows us, be on the lookout for a Moose in Randolph County.
It's easy to spot the history in downtown Farmland. Many of these buildings along Main Street have stood for more than 120 years. And inside the Chocolate Moose, there's a taste of nostalgia every day.
In a community where there aren't a lot of businesses, fortunately we're on a highway, so we still see traffic go through, but I think overall it's a little quieter.
It's a homecoming for Amy Davis and her husband Mark. Amy grew up just a short walk from the Chocolate Moose. Now they own the place. They spent the past month getting used to meeting their customers curbside.
You know, there have been times when our servers have delivered a meal to the curbside and they've been blessed with a very nice tip that they probably wouldn't have otherwise gotten if they were in here waiting tables, and that means a lot to us.
It's been really encouraging to have people come up and say, and thank us for being open, thank us for allowing them to come and service them and a place to come to eat.
For decades, the Moose's menu of diner favorites has brought people from Farmland and way beyond. The main event is in the old-time soda fountain and ice cream menu. Phosphates, malts, shakes, sundaes, green rivers. You can get most of those to go now as well.
I find that people are ordering the basics. Cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers. Tenderloins is one of our favorites. And so they're ordering what they're familiar with. Or even if they're not familiar with, they've read that, hey, this is really good, let's try this.
We try to put something out there every day, just kind of keep the Chocolate Moose in the mind of our customers, even if they're thinking, oh, I'm driving home from work, and I can just pop through and pick up dinner. As
time's gone on, I've seen people that haven't been in here that have come by. So I'm getting some new customers because their options are limited and maybe they haven't tried this yet.
Big thanks to the whole crew up there. By the way, the bacon cheeseburger was an A+. They've got T-shirts as well. That's pretty great, don't you think? Amy and Mark are hoping to have the shop open soon so they can serve up some proper banana splits as summer gets here. For more information about their hours, their menu, and their specials, check out the Chocolate Mousse Farmland on their Facebook page. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
I like the T-shirt a lot, Brad. Thank you very much. The RTV6 and the Indy Chamber of Commerce have joined together as we work to protect Indiana business. You can find out more about the Chamber's Buy Indy effort on our site, theindychannel.com/open, and discover more businesses that are open for you. Amanda.
RTV6 is also proud to be working together with the United Way of Central Indiana for the COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. The initiative supports organizations that serve people and families affected by the pandemic. You can donate to the fund by texting HELP 2020 to 91999.
Thank you, Amanda. Temperatures this morning, they were in the 30s. I'm sure you felt that. Lower 30s in Peru and Muncie. But what can fix that? Sunshine. Take a look, Monument Circle today. You'll just see some harmless cumulus clouds floating across central Indiana through the early part of the afternoon. We've seen the clouds lower and thicken, especially north of Indianapolis, but nice character to the sky through the day. We moved from the 30s, by the way, into the 70s, and we're still there. Greenwood is at 71 degrees, 72 in Bloomington, lower 70s in Muncie. Indy down 1 degree from the last hour at 69. There's your wind. It's out of the southwest. That was a key toward warming up today, and the warmer air will continue to be pulled north, and temperatures tonight won't be nearly as cool as what we went through this morning. 69 with clouds in place from Indy north right now. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, 61 degrees. Should still be dry in most places. Looks like we could have during the next couple of days a decent amount of rain. Now you can see that we're just over 2 inches below average as we go through April up to this point, but that will change. Tomorrow, rain is likely, and Saturday, rain likely. Could be 1 to 2 inches in spots by the time we get to Saturday night. Every other day right there shows the rain. You got some rain right now in Monticello to Delphi. That will scoot east, heads up Logansport in Peru. Nothing real heavy there, but obviously enough to get you wet. As you look at the 5 a.m. forecast, rain from I-70 south, heavier rain Terre Haute, Bloomington, and Seymour at 7 a.m. That drifts to the north, but I think the heavier downpours will stay south and east along I-65, I-74, I-70, Indy to Richmond. Then as we go to the afternoon hours, temperatures will continue to stay in the 50s. Temperatures won't warm up a whole lot because of the fact that we've got the cloud cover, and we'll also have a kind of east-southeast wind will replace that. As far as our probability of showers and maybe some thunderstorms, the better chance of any of that will arrive as we get to the weekend. Temperatures over the weekend in the 50s, rain likely Saturday, couple thunderstorms, then in the 60s as we go into next week.
Well, the NFL draft starts tomorrow night. You can see every round live right here on RTV6.
And given the current times, it will all be done virtually, from the team's picks to the player interviews and even the fans' reaction. Dave first caught up with the family who will represent Colts Nation in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
It was supposed to look a lot like this. Thousands of NFL fans from around the country descending upon the Las Vegas Strip to take part in the annual NFL Draft.
Needless to say, this isn't quite the trip to Las Vegas you were expecting.
Meet the Souza Michaels. Lisa, Paul, and son Nick, they won a drawing from the Colts to be in Vegas this week.
It was disappointing. We'll be honest. It was pretty disappointing to learn that the trip was canceled and leaving today for Vegas. So that, that's kind of sad to think about.
Instead, the Colts sent a care package and lined them up to be part of the TV coverage, with the network expecting to cut to their computer camera to get the reaction to the Colts picks.
Do you know quite what to expect?
Other than just knowing that we need to be ready and knowing that when it's our turn, we're supposed to be excited, for our picks.
And they will be. The Souza Michaels have had season tickets ever since the team moved from Baltimore. Heck, Nick's middle name is Peyton.
Welcome to Colts Nation Draft Pick. You just got the best organization in the NFL.
And this Purdue freshman already has his response down.
You got a Reggie Wayne jersey on. Any chance the Colts are going to take a player like Reggie Wayne this weekend?
Well, we certainly hope so. There's a lot of talent in the wide receiver position in this draft. Hopefully we can take a good receiver to complement T.Y. this year.
You've done your homework. I like this. That's why you guys are doing this.
I'm not doing my actual homework.
So, armed with flags, hats, and autographed footballs, needless to say, the Sousa Michaels are ready. And there's nothing virtual about that.
Let's go!
In a way, you guys kind of represent Colts Nation. So is there any pressure here for you guys going into the NFL draft?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. Big supporter of the organization and, have always been happy with what Mr. Irsay has done for the city and the community. And so we will definitely try to show our support and make Colts Nation proud.
And you can see all 3 days of the NFL Draft live right here at RTV6 at ABC. Coverage begins at 8 Thursday night. We continue to honor the outgoing spring sport athletes with the RTV6 Senior Salute tonight to Burbuff's Shane Bauer. Shane was aiming to cap off a spectacular 4-year run with the Braves, already a part of the 2017 sectional champs, a 4-year Letterman named All-County and All-Conference a year ago. And that right arm, well, it's Ivy League quality. Shane is headed to Dartmouth, where this Brave will play for the Big Green. He thanks his parents and his little brother Luke for all those games of catch. Good luck, Shane. If you have an idea for RTV6 Senior Salute, email me at dave.first@wrtv.com.
Back up at Golden Oak Lending.
Rain likely during the day tomorrow with temperatures noticeably cooler, stuck in the 50s.
Well, thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news.
Our next newscast is tonight at 7 o'clock.